Hi, third graders. Today, I am helping with the videos as usual, and we have a special guest.
Ta-da!
Dad, or you can call him Mr. Lawson. So please turn to page 239 in your math books. Okay, so we're on the first box, and it says, complete the number line.
Do you have to remind them what page?
You should be on 239. Just another reminder.
Okay, number 1. Here we go. It's right here.
Okay, box number 1 says complete the number line. So here we have the number line written out here. And we have, in between, there's 2 spots of 0 and over 3 and 3 over 3. So we would see how many spots do we have to go. We would go 1, 2, 3. So we know here it would be 1/3 because 3 is our bottom number.
Time out. We got a number line here and we've broke it into 3 parts. This part, and this part. All they want to know is that you label each line. You have 3 equal parts, so now Liz, take over.
So for the first equal part, we have 1/3 because you went 1. Second equal part is 2/3 because you went 1, 2. So our 2 fill-ins should be 1/3 and 2/3. If you can see that.
She crammed them in above the line. You were supposed to use the line below.
Oh!
Let me correctly show you how it is to be done in your workbook.
I thought you meant
Give me
on
your
the
orange,
line.
honey. Give me your
I thought you
orange.
meant on the line.
Here we go. This is the correct way, children, how to fill in your workbook. See how they did 0 over 3? Now you've had 1 section, so that's 1/3. Now you go 1, 2. You have 2/3, then you go 1, 2, 3, and they've already given you the 3/3. Good job.
Okay, now we're on box 2.
This is the fun one because it looks like it's going to be hard, but it's really not. We're looking for all the answers that could possibly be 30. So Liz, on the first one we have 3 times 10. What is 3 times 10?
30, because when you multiply a number by 10, you add a 0. So it's 3, and then you add a 0 to make it 30.
Okay, so would that be considered a name for 30?
Yes. So
All
you
right.
circle the first problem.
That would actually be a good answer. All right, now it gets a little tricky now. We have parentheses. What do we know about parentheses, Liz?
That you always do what's in the parentheses first.
So what's in the parentheses on the second number line?
2 times 5.
So you do what's inside the parentheses first. So what's 2 times 5?
10.
Okay, so you do inside the parentheses first. Now, so it's 40 minus
10.
equals what?
30. Also write out that we did 10 first. So 40 minus 10, 30.
Oh, she wrote in a little 10 to
So you showed
always do the parentheses first. So, does 40 minus 10, 30, is that a name for 30?
Yes,
So
so
what-
circle the second one as well.
Okay, this is getting a little more tricky. What do you do first on the third problem?
Parentheses.
You do the parentheses first. So we have 2 times 10 is...
20.
So, can you write that down?
Yeah.
So that... And then 20 plus 5 equals...
25.
Is that a name that you should circle for the number 30?
No, so we should exit that out.
Okay, so you're going to exit that. Well, you don't really have to exit out.
So we know it's not the third
So
one.
there you go. So we have 2 names for 30. And remember, do parentheses first.
All right, we are on box 3.
Now I did something unique. I just drew a bunch of circles. Ooh. So we're going to figure it out. So tell us what we're going to do, Liz.
So you're going to write greater than, less than, or equal to. To make each number sentence true, you may use your fraction tools.
And tools would be like a hammer and a screwdriver and a ratchet and a monkey wrench and a power saw. Right?
But not math tools, Dad.
Oh.
Those are work tools. You'll use your math tools. Hey, Mom, what are examples of math tools?
This is an example of a math tool. I just drew circles, and Liz is going to pretend that they are pies. So, when we compare, the first one is 1/2 to 1/3. My first 2 circles are half. We're going to cut it in half, the piece of pie. That's a big piece of pie, sorry, I'm shaking. And then the second one, we're going to break it. Ooh, I didn't do so well that time. You break it into thirds. Okay. Our first two pies is 1/2 bigger than 1/3.
Should we fill it in? 1/2 and then 1/3.
Oh, Liz wants you to actually see half a pie and a third of a pie. We split our pie into half, and we split our pie into 1/3. Which is larger?
1/2.
So you would
We would
use
write-
greater than, less than, or equal to.
I'll write it over here first. We're going to say greater than.
So 1/2 is greater than 1/3. Now, another way, since we're already using pie, kids, I always look at this as a mouth. I never said greater than or less than when I was your age. I always looked at it at the mouth. And I wanted the bigger piece of pie. So that's where I opened my mouth to. So even though, because sometimes I would get confused, greater than, less than, all that means is I want the bigger piece of pie. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, then number 2 is 1/2 and 2/2. So basically, on this piece of pie, you just split them both in half. Now, I've already filled in one. The second one are 2/2. So look at that. Which one? Oh, you can answer this, Liz. So what do you do for 1/2 and 2/2?
You would say 1/2 is less than 2 halves.
It's actually 2. So again, kids, if you don't know greater than, less than, you say, I want all the pie. Ah! Okay, what's the next one? We have 1/2 again. Oh my goodness, these are getting pretty familiar. 1/2, ooh, 1/6. How do you divide it into 6?
I don't know.
You don't. You go like this.
Well, I was going to
You
let
go
you
like
show
this,
me.
and you go like this. Oops. That's amazingly 6, sort of. And they only want 1/6, so we're only going to color in 1/6 of the pie. How I did that was I made 6 pieces of the pie instead of 2 pieces of the pie. So, how do we answer the question? 1/2 is
Greater than.
1/6. Remember, kids? Oh, well, let her do her greater than. You want the bigger piece of pie. Okay, last one. Oh, this is getting very repetitious. We have another half. Oh, this one's tricky. I'm going to let Liz show us how to do this one.
Okay.
1/2, and then it has 3 halves.
That one. So I'm going to cut it into 2.
Well, that's 2 halves.
Yeah. But we need 3.
So where do you get it
So
from?
we're going to color in 2 of the halves. And we filled it all in. But we still need another one because that's only 2 2s, not 3.
So where do we
gonna
go? Do we go to the bakery?
Mm-hmm.
Giant Eagle?
I'm going to draw another half
That
and color
doesn't
that
look
in.
like a half. That
That's a
looks
half.
like a D.
It's another half. So clearly we had to go to the bakery and get more.
But see, you're not going to go to the bakery and buy a half a pie, Elizabeth. Let's just try this. We're going to go and we're going to buy 2 pies. And we already did the one. She showed you how to split the one in half, and she colored it in. So that's 1 pie. And you have to actually have another pie and cut it in
Oh, I
half.
can't show just half the pie.
No,
Just whole
it's
pie.
no. It looks like a
Okay,
D
my
anyway.
bad.
Here we go. So we have 1/2, 2 halves, 3 halves, and we're still back to a half a pie. Now, which one is greater?
This
1/2
it'd
or
say
3 halves?
1/2 is less than. Oh,
We
orange,
didn't use
but
orange,
it's okay.
but we're gonna go back to the bakery because we want the extra half a pie. So that's how you do that one.
Okay.
All right. Are we moving right on?
Okay, we are on math box number 4. So here it says we have to fill in 15 minutes earlier than the time on the clock. So here we have what the time on the clock is. It is 7:21. So we want to know what's 15 minutes earlier than this time. So we're going to have to count by 5s to get 15 minutes earlier. So here we have 5, 10, 15. Dad, what time is it 15 minutes earlier?
7:06.
Good.
Or 6 minutes after 7.
Good job, Dad. So for our first fill in the blank, you should have said that it was, after 15 minutes, it was 7:06.
Okay.
Okay, now that you see how we did like 15 minutes before, we're gonna let you go and try doing 15 minutes after. Okay, so hopefully you filled it in with your try. Now we're gonna show you. So we're starting with 21 and we're gonna go 15 minutes counting by fives later. So we're gonna go
You don't have to count by
5,
fives.
10,
You
15.
can count by ones.
You can do whatever you want, but here we count by
1,
fives.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And guess what? By doing that, you actually did math without even knowing it. You did 3 times 5.
Yes.
See how much quicker that is than counting it out one by one by one? Okay, so what time is it?
36. 35, 36. 7,
So it's 36?
7, 36.
Or 36 minutes
After 7.
Now write it in on your page, and I guess we're done, are we?
No, this one.
Oh, we have more.
Okay, on to box number 5. Think about your answer for problem 3. How do you know whether a fraction is greater than 1/2?
Again, think about how we taught it today was thinking about a pie. When the answers are easy like that, 1/2, think about your pie. And when you have anything larger than that, anything more than half, it would show up that way. The other way to do it would be if you have a number line, like in an example what you worked on page 233 in this workbook. If you wanted to flip back, you could say that the book says anything that goes to the right of that would be larger than 1/2. The way I like
of 1/2.
to the right of 1/2. The way I like to look at it is the more the pie, if it's bigger than 1/2, more yummy for my tummy.
So you can use either of those examples, the pie or the number line.
Thanks.
Well, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed math with different teachers today. I'm so grateful for my family when they're willing to come in and teach you and just give you a different face and a different way of teaching. So just a reminder that because our lesson was a little shorter, I'm expecting 5 minutes of Moby Max before you hit the turn in button. So have a great day in Google Classroom. This has been Math with Mr. Lawson and
Liz.